Hello everyone there at St Leonard's. It's lovely to be talking to you even though I can't see you. I hope you can see and hear me okay. I'm really missing you. So I'm so glad that we can worship together like this even though we can't get together in school or church yet. But I'm sure we will be able to soon. And I'm sure you are all looking after each other, which is wonderful. So the first thing we need to do to start our worship is, yes, light the candles. And don't forget to remind me if at the end I forget to put them out, because I often do, don't I? 1 candle lit, 2 candles lit. Should we blow it out? There we go. And now let's all join in saying together, in my head, in my heart, and all around me, Jesus is here. I wonder if you made and ate pancakes last Tuesday, did you? Do you remember why you made and ate pancakes? Because it was Shrove Tuesday, wasn't it? And that's the day before Ash Wednesday. And what happens on Ash Wednesday? Lent starts. It's the beginning of Lent, and Lent is the time that we use to get ready for Easter. Usually we would be in church and I would be putting this, well, I and Reverend Vic would be putting this on your heads, wouldn't we? It's the ash to help us remember Jesus in the desert during Lent. I make this ash by getting together as many of people's palm crosses from last Palm Sunday as I can, and then I burn them and smash them all down, and they make very good ash. But we haven't really been able to use it this year. Never mind. The main thing is to remember that it's to show that we want to be Jesus' disciples, Jesus followers. Now during Lent, do you remember that what we think about is Jesus going into the desert on his own? He needed to go there on his own because he wanted to spend time in prayer with God to get himself ready for his mission of telling people and showing people God's love. Let's prepare to think about this passage from the Bible, shall we? As we say together, Jesus, open up my eyes. Jesus, open up my lips. Jesus, open up my heart. Jesus, help me hear your word. So Jesus went into the desert, and you know, there's not much to eat in the desert. And Jesus didn't take any food with him. He was concentrating on talking with God. After many days, he was very hungry. He saw a big stone. I expect it might have reminded him of some bread. It looks a little bit like a round bun, doesn't it? Or piece of bread that we might eat. I think it might have reminded Jesus of bread. I could turn this stone into bread, Jesus thought. Do you think he did turn the stone into bread? No, he didn't, did he? I wonder why. Why do you think he didn't change the stone into bread? After many days, he was worried that God would not be with him. Jesus knew there was a way he could test this. If he climbed up to the biggest cliff he could find, or if he went and found a big tall building like church, and if he threw himself off the top of it, if God was really with him, God would stop him getting hurt. He would know for sure that God was with him. Do you think Jesus did that? No, he didn't, did he? I wonder why. Why do you think he didn't? After many days in the desert, Jesus knew that he had great power within himself and that he could easily make people do what he wanted them to do. Did Jesus do that? No, he didn't, did he? And we know why he didn't. Because Jesus always did what God wanted him to do. He didn't do things for himself, like magicking stones into bread. He did not test God. He trusted God. And Jesus never forces people. He only shows us what is right and good, and hopes that if we are his followers, we will follow him and try to be like him. Wow, Jesus is a great person, isn't he? And when it comes to Easter, he was greater still. But that's another story, isn't it? We haven't got there yet. We are still preparing for Easter during Lent, preparing by following Jesus and trying to do what he wants us to do. We can't always, but when we get things wrong, we just say sorry, because we know that Jesus forgives us, and we know that he understands how tough it is sometimes to do the right thing. So let us sign up to being Jesus' disciples, shall we? Okay, we can't use the ash this year, but we don't really need it. We can sign up to being Jesus' disciples without it. Can you take your thumb and move your hair if it's in the way? And then you can make the sign of the cross on your forehead while I say the words that we usually say in church when we put the ash on. Turn away from sin and turn to Christ. Perhaps you could say that with me. Turn away from sin and turn to Christ. We can do that even if we haven't got the mark of ash on our forehead. We know that now for the next few weeks on up till Easter, we are signed up to be Jesus' followers. And one of the best things we can do is to pray together the prayer that Jesus taught us. So let's do it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. God bless you and keep you, each of you, and smile upon you and give you peace. Amen. And now, what do I have to do? I have to put out the candles. But I won't be putting out the light of Christ, will I? No way. There we go. And when I see you out and about, or next see you in school or church, you can tell me how you've been being Jesus' disciples.